don't even know. I don't even know about the backup quarterback job. Is that a big deal for folks? I feel like we've kind of moved away from it, or it's just like it is what it is. Brock Purdy's starting, and that stuff will work itself out. He was asked, Shanahan that was, about the quarterback too. Will he name one? Will he do it throughout the season? Will he rotate? Here's what Shanahan had to say.
Al, do you plan on announcing a number 2 quarterback, or are you going to wait till right before the game? And is that something that could rotate week to week throughout the season? How do you see that?
Yes, all that. I mean, I would think probably announce it before we play Pittsburgh, but not this game.
Do you think you could rotate throughout the week?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
It's a great question, actually.
Spadoni was bothered by that.
Why?
He was bothered by that. Are you bothered by that? By not knowing who the backup quarterback is? Spadoni was bothered.
I just feel like at times, and I'll let Spadoni get in here. Sorry, I know you were getting ready. No, my bad. I do feel at times like Niner fans in general are probably fatigued. Just quarterback in general. Whether it's the last 6 years, whatever, like, doesn't mean you don't love Brock Purdy or you didn't love Jimmy G or whomever, but I do feel that there's a level of fatigue, almost in the same way Giants fans are fatigued talking about free agency. You know what I mean? It's like, can we talk about anything else? Go, Spadoni.
No, that's just it. Like, it's the backup quarterback position. What are we doing now? Like, we've already moved on. He said a few months ago, it's like, we have 3 good quarterbacks. I think they all could be starters in this league. Well, you were lying because you always knew it was Brock Purdy. So what the hell are we doing here? Like, it's Trey Lance and it's Sam Darnold. We have 55 games of Sam Darnold. We know what he is. You invested a 3rd-round pick, 3 first rounds, including a swap to get Trey Lance. Make him your backup. It's not this difficult. You see what the Jets are doing? With Zach Wilson?
Yes.
They know their guy is Aaron Rodgers. But we know our guy is Brock Purdy here. John Lynch said it. This is our guy. Just make Trey Lance the 2. Like, I don't know why we have to do this thing where it's like each week, well, they're going to be battling throughout the year. So, maybe against the Giants, we'll have Trey one week be the QB2. I don't know. Maybe the other week, we'll have Sam Darnold. It's dumb. It's just dumb. It doesn't need to be this complicated. Name Trey the QB2 and move on.
Why should it be named? Shouldn't he have to earn it?
He needs reps. Like, is this the whole thing? Doesn't he need reps?
Just saying community service. We're not just giving him. I mean, like the guy.
Okay, but it's also the QB2. I mean, no. No. How much have you invested in Sam Darnold? How much have you invested in Sam Darnold?
A couple $1 million.
Thanks. How much did you invest in Trey Lance?
No doubt.
No. That's it. That's it.
That's done. Brock Purdy's starting. That could be a sunken cost with Trey Lance.
Yes, but we also want to, okay, let's not act like the QB2 situation has not been the talk of the town the last,
it has been.
The entire summer.
Can I ask a question about earning it? Has Sam earned it?
No.
Okay.
But they got to go out there and earn it on the field, right?
I think we agree on that. Yeah, right. Of course we agree on that.
And through 2 games, who's been better?
Well, I'm not giving anyone slot corner because I signed them. Isaiah Oliver as an example.
Yeah.
You got to
go out there and earn it.
Yeah, I play the best person, right? And like, so I look at it I talked about this in the we talked about earlier today. Like, there's running back position, like that kind of oscillates on a Shanahan team outside of McCaffrey now. Right. But like, who was the starting running back last year to start the year? Does anyone remember?
No, Elijah Mitchell.
Okay, then what happened?
He got hurt in the first game of the season in the first quarter.
And Jeff Wilson Jr.
And then it was Jeff Wilson Jr. And by the trade deadline, what happened to Jeff Wilson Jr.?
He got traded.
Exactly. And we all like Jeff Wilson Jr. At points, Jeff Wilson Jr. was your 4. Then he was your starter and everything in between. Tevin Coleman has been your 3rd. He was a special teamer who suited up in the NFC Championship game last year. I don't know why. And he was also your lead dog running back at one point. And then in the playoffs, he went from being the top running back in the Minnesota game to it was Raheem Mostert, and we don't even look back.
It's just the way he harvests this creative tension throughout the locker room, throughout the media. Kyle Shanahan does this thing where there needs to be some sort of tension somewhere. Doesn't matter where it's not with the backup quarterbacks. It doesn't need to be this complicated. Every other team is naming the QB1, QB2. It's not that difficult, Kyle. He needs to do this thing like, I don't know. It needs to be this competition throughout, even during the season. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, but it does, though, because like when I look at like all the other positions, guys go up and down on the depth chart based on form, based on what you're seeing in practice.
Well, Brandon Ayuk's a perfect example in 2021. Brandon Ayuk was in the doghouse. They opened up in Detroit. Trent Sherfield was starting at wide receiver. We had no idea what Brandon Ayuk's role was, but he had to go out there and earn it. Even though he was a first-round pick, even though they traded back into the first round to draft him, he had to go out there and earn it. And by the time the season rolled around, mid-season rolled around, Ayuk had earned his reps. He earned it. Creative tension is good. But you're not just handing out jobs here. You're on the San Francisco 49ers. You're contending for Super Bowls.
Is this
You're playing for big stakes here, Shasky. This whole, hey, you're going to be QB2 just because I drafted number 3 overall. No, if you can't make a throw, if you're airmail and stuff, you don't have any pocket presence right now, you're not going to be QB2.
But we also, can we all agree, like, they're pretty close, Sam and Trey.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right? So,
I've seen 55 games of Sam Darnold. He stinks. I've seen 4 games of Trey Lance. For the love of God, you invested this much in him.
But no.
Stop. Stop.
Who cares? The whole tension thing, the tension thing is blasphemous. This ain't Little League. This ain't Pony League. This ain't high school. This is the NFL. All right? These guys all have creative tension going on. Drake Greenlaw knows. The same way he earned his linebacker spot was how Quan Alexander got hurt. Drake Greenlaw came aboard, played well. Next thing you know, he's a starting middle linebacker. Drake Greenlaw understands, if I get hurt, this D. Winters guy may come in and take my job.
Is quarterback different? I'm asking sincerely. Is it just the way we view the position, the hierarchy on the team? Does it get, it gets treated different for a variety of reasons, but in this case, when it comes to like depth chart talk and all that, is it different? Because like Brian Hoyer, I look at someone like Brian Hoyer who's with the Raiders right now. Brian Hoyer stinks.
Right.
We all know he can't play.
Right.
Everybody who's watched the Raiders even a little this preseason is like, Aiden O'Connell has much more left in the tank, and we want to see what he's got as a rookie coming out of Purdue than whatever the hell Brian Hoyer has. But we know also backup quarterback's kind of like a coach.
Right.
You kind of want him in the QB room. There's more that goes into it.
Right.
You're kind of like an assistant.
Like Colt McCoy in Arizona. If you watch Hard Knocks last year, Colt McCoy was so close to the quarterback, and he's actually giving Kyler Murray pointers about what he sees, and they take any input because he's a veteran quarterback. Mahomes having Chad Henne around in that quarterback room, there is something to that. But in terms of the pecking order and whether or not it's creating tension, well, there needs to be tension. If you can't handle a quarterback battle in training camp, how the hell are you going to handle a 2-minute drill against the Seattle Seahawks up in Lumen Field in Week 13?
Well, I think
if you can't handle this situation, then you can't handle an in-game a live game rep. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that, but I would actually go in the other direction. If anything, I feel like this is taking a lot of pressure off Brock Purdy.
It is.
See, I think we're all looking at this. Back up. And so to me, if you're playing chess, not checkers, which I don't know. Maybe Kyle is. Maybe Kyle isn't.
But you know what? That pressure's going to be on Brock as soon as he steps on the field in Pittsburgh.
No, that's true.
You're the starting quarterback.
That's true.
You're expected to help this team get back to the AFC Championship game. So there's going to be pressure on Brock Purdy. You said in the first hour, Brock Purdy struggles early on. This fan base is going to ride him. They're going to be all over him. So the pressure on Brock Purdy's there. It's just waiting. It's brewing, right?
Yeah, it's true.
You're like steeping tea, right? You're just steeping. You wait, and then when you get to Pittsburgh, all eyes on Brock Purdy to see what he can do for an encore. As far as the backup stuff, hey Trey, if you can't handle this competition with Sam Darnold, who's thrown 55 interception and last played in the Superdome where he went 5-15 for 43 freaking yards. If you can't beat out Sam Darnold, then you know what? You shouldn't be the backup quarterback. And if you can't handle this situation right now, then you shouldn't be on this football team. That point blank period.
How many people agree with Spadoni out there? Because I'm seeing a lot of texts come in that either agree or disagree. It feels really split down the middle. And it feels like to me, if you like Shanahan, you're bought in.
Right.
If you don't like Shanahan, you're against this. So I would like to hear from the people. Like, does this outrage? It doesn't do anything to me.
It doesn't do anything
for me. It doesn't move me one. But I think there's something to be said for Spadoni's point of view from the outside looking in. Because I'm a Niner fan, and maybe I have a blind spot.
But has Trey earned the quarterback 2 job by just saying,
"Hey, either of them has earned anything"?
Hey, here, Trey. Here's QB2.
Well, no, but I just don't think it works that way. I don't think we give anything. Like, maybe at one point they did give him something, and they regret that. I don't think they're giving anyone anything.
And why would you announce anything? There's gamesmanship. There's other teams listening and watching. Nobody needs to know what our depth chart looks like except for the people inside this locker room.
They're the only team in the league on a depth chart that they post on their website that puts or. And they did it with the tight end position, kicker,
quarterback.
and quarterback.
Yeah.
They're the only ones. So it said Brock Purdy, QB1, QB2, Trey Lance,
Right.
or Sam Darnold, QB3.
Dublin Marge. Disagree with Spadoni. Competition is good for Trey. SFA Drummer. Trey is her quarterback number 2. We'll see. I'm with Jay LaFrey. What's the point of announcing anything right now? Why do I need to announce to the world that Trey Lance is my backup? For what? The ease of the minds of fans? You fans are crazy anyway.
Well, he doesn't matter.
He doesn't care about
the
you guys.
fans are going to be there packing the place week 3 against the Giants no matter what.
But
B, in a weird way, and I'm not here to I'm not pretending that Shanahan is God and he can do no wrong. I've got my own qualms with some of the things Shanahan does. I think he does a great job overall, but he's not perfect.
Only God knows.
I mean, even Belichick, the greatest coach of all time, wasn't perfect. He can't draft a wide receiver to save his life, okay?
No doubt.
But my point being is that Shanahan does a great job. In a weird way, signing Sam Darnold, I think it did get the best out of Trey Lance.
Yeah, there you go.
No, because it's clearly pushed him to improve his game.
Last year, you guys called me. I've been called crazy a few times.
Well, you are, but that doesn't mean you don't make salient points.
Well, I remember, was it 2019 or 2020? I was advocating for the Niners to bring in Cam Newton. And I don't know if it was on these airwaves or it was in the street, but somebody told me, don't bring in Cam Newton. That's going to put a lot of pressure on Jimmy. He has to look over his shoulder. And I said, oh, well, you got to look over his shoulder, play better.
Well, you know what I said about Alex Smith? When they traded away Tim Rattay, I thought that was one of the worst things they could have done for Alex Smith because they handed it to Alex, and I get that, but you needed a veteran in the room with him. You needed someone to push him a little.
Dude, I swear to God, last year I wanted Jimmy Garoppolo all throughout training camp. Push Trey Lance. I believe Trey Lance is going to beat out Jimmy Garoppolo anyway because I thought Trey Lance is the better player. I truly did. Let him compete. I got no problem with competition. These are big leagues, man. I got to figure out who's my best quarterback. There's a quote that Shanahan delivered to Peter King I want to get into in just a second here, as we're talking offense and quarterbacks and backup quarterbacks. That's all we do here. Backup. It's all about Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, all right? He's QB1. Let's focus on that.